You're here to be triggered. No, seriously though. A lot of you will be triggered, and that's why there's a trigger warning on the title of this video. So, I want to talk about something a little bit more important. Well, I won't say that. All of my videos are really important, the type of content that I produce, because I like to do readings for you guys, don't get me wrong. But I will say this because it is kind of more of a political issue, a community issue, a country in its entirety type of issue, because we as a society are being dumbfounded by all of these policies that are being forced and shoved down our throats. I want to get into the nitty gritty. I will be very general in this video particularly. Now, do keep in mind though, I will be providing examples. I will have the links down below. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button while you're at it. And yeah, so if you want to get any of the resources for this information, I will post them down. They are publicly published. You know what I mean? So they're online on the websites. You can look at this information yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. So now, to get started, what is victimization? What is social manipulation? And what can we do to really change that? What are the damages it really brings to us as individuals and society as a whole? And what are we really being fed? Like, I will do my best not to say my own personal trigger words, which is like, and I have a lot of them actually. I'm gonna do my best, but to be quite honest, we have been forced fed a lie from the get-go, and it's really hard to see past that when we are an emotionally driven force of of a of creatures, because we have this really strange aspect about us. We are emotionally driven. Now, do keep in mind, like, you can see that in, animals, and there are some instances where nature does take on its form of emotional connection, and you can see that with a lot of things. But the focus here is humans, human nature, what really drives us emotionally, and how we connect with that emotion, and what it does to really make deciding factors in our lives. That goes on at an individual level, and voting processes. Now, I won't get too heavy into politics. I know I don't want to dry your head out with all of these political references and things like that, because we hear that all the time. There's like no way to avoid it nowadays, and I have really had to clean up a lot of my feed over these last few months, because there was some like really crazy things going on. Now, doesn't mean I was trying to hide away from things, but there were some things being forced down my throat that had a lot more to do with conspiracies, conspiracies, and whatever. And I'm a conspiracy realist, and that one's a little bit harder to understand. I do question narratives. I question integrity, and I question the people ahead, above us, that are decision makers, especially in policies, medical medical related policies more than anything, because that will have a very dramatic effect on us as a society. Now, I want you to really dive deep into this, because my hope is that I'm going to get new people on here watching this content, so you can actually be introduced to these concepts, introduced to these things, because I don't want to manipulate you, but I want you to start questioning things, because that is what we're here to do. Your friends that have been shouting that COVID was a scam all along, no, I did say the C word, please don't ban me. But I want you to know that those people did have some integral driven agendas, so like maybe some of their narrative, maybe some of the way that they were trying to present this information was very angry, was very emotionally driven. However, that doesn't necessarily disregard the information that is being provided towards you. I simply want you to start questioning things around you. That goes from both sides. You take my video, I want you to question me. I want you to question my integrity and the information that I provide for you, and that's why I am providing the resources down below, because I want you to go out of your way to do this research so you can inform yourself, because that is what we are being neglecting. That is what we as individuals are neglecting, and that is what is being presented to us as misinformation on a very wide scale. We have so many fact checkers, and I just want you to understand something. Who are the fact checkers? What determines a true fact? Is it real data? Is it real statistics? Is it history? Is it fact? What is fact? And yes, we have a prime definition of what is fact and what is true, but a lot of things can be true in one person's perspective because they have been emotionally influenced or have been influenced by some type of agenda or somebody else. Like, when you make decisions based on what somebody else has told you, you are usually more than likely going to be wrong. Not always, don't get me wrong, because I don't want you to watch this video and be like, well, what, she told me not to listen to her. Why am I listening to her? What is the point? My point is that you yourself can be an informed citizen. You yourself can inform yourself without having to listen to CNN, without having to listen to Fox, without having to listen to any of these corporate media. Because if you can see that there are patterns, if you see the patterns, you will start to put these puzzle pieces together. Because when you throw a jigsaw puzzle down on the floor, none of those pieces are going to be in order. It is your job to pick the pieces, put them together, and make the picture yourself. We don't print out puzzle boxes so they're already there for you to digest. That would be so boring. That would not make any sense. It would defeat the purpose of having this information presented to you. You are a free thinker, and I want you to practice your freedom, because that is the ultimate freedom that you will have, and it is a very, very detrimental and important thing to practice right now. When we are being silenced, when you see Alex Jones, and now I don't want you to watch this video and see that, I'm boasting up Alex Jones. I don't have anything to say about Sandy Hook. I don't have anything to say about Alex Jones as an individual. Some of the things he says are very out there, very wild, and but my focus is we are being silenced by media. And when we are being silenced by media, when you can see that Alex Jones has a 1 billion, who has $1 billion to just throw out into the world. And if you do watch some of that trial, the plaintiff, he did suggest destroying his business, destroying his outreach, and never allowing him to have a voice again. If that doesn't scream like questioning integrity and what actually means fact, what is true about fact, if that doesn't make you uncomfortable, by the end of this video you will feel some uncomfort by watching this, because he is and will be, and you can mark my words, the beginning of a lot of misinformation trials. Now, this is something that is new and is being presented to us as misinformation. And COVID, I said this C word again, please don't ban me. Now, that was the beginning of this misinformation being presented to us. When did we have fact checkers before? I mean, yes, there have always been a form of policy to drive information together so we can really see the core foundations of things and understand what is true about them. However, fact checking online is a very nitty-gritty and very, very scary thing to do. And I will tell you why, because who is determining fact? You have to question this, because if you are being silenced, if people are getting their content erased, if they, like Donald Trump, and again, this is not a political driven video. I'm probably going to get questioned about that. That is okay. I will question both sides. Now, I do my best because it is not the topic. But if you see that Donald Trump has been removed from Twitter, removed from Facebook, removed from media, and he has been the center point for a lot of hate, a lot of anger, and that has been focused on him, why would anybody not question that? There is something going on here. If we are being led to hate a specific race, if we are being led to hate a specific gender, white people and males, oh God, I said it, but I did. I know. Trigger warning. That is why that was there. So if we are being driven to hate and fear monger a lot of politics, there if there's fear mongering in politics, you have to warn yourself. You have to start questioning narratives, because why are you being told to hate somebody you know nothing about? If you don't know what somebody has done policy wise, if you don't know what somebody has done for your community, if Kanye can donate $1 million, facts here, it was $2 million to George Floyd's daughter to pay for her tuition. What are we really fighting? Are we fighting facts? Are we fighting real choices that real people have made to do things that are positive for the community? What are we fighting? It is very important to start questioning that on both sides. It doesn't matter where your politics stand, where you stand as a person should go right back into your main community. It should go right back to you, your family, your loved ones, and what is important, what is valuable, and what actually helps people. Because if helping people is not your focus in life, or maybe not even helping people, but if it's not integral to help others, and if that doesn't make you, at least, I won't say a good person, but if it doesn't show some positivity to your character, then what will? What will make you, in the eyes of others, a good, decent person, a community member? Like, what is it? What is it that we're fighting? If we aren't fighting for justice, if we aren't fighting for real truth, and if we aren't fighting for voices, then you don't have real moral standing. And that is the point I am trying to drive home. But I want you to understand, going right back into victimization hood, you have been led. This is another trigger warning, since I'm going to have to put a bunch of them out there. I have triggered a lot of people already by some of these. We're going to have to, I don't know. There's probably going to be some banning on this channel once again. There's probably going to be some points on my account, but it's okay. So I want you to understand that victimization hood is something that has been presented to you as a class of character. This has been presented to you many a times throughout history, but is very prominent right now. We have been emotionally driven. Okay, so I'm going to go right back into it. Let's talk about COVID. When it started, we were shamed. We were shamed by not wearing a face mask in public. I have been yelled at by grown men about not wearing a face mask in a grocery store. I have been yelled at in my face by grown men. Just let that sink in. No, I'm not a victim. I fought back, not physically, of course, but I did use my voice as a weapon, because it is, and it is important to use your voice, because this is a change in history. This will determine our history. Do we allow people to determine fact? Do we allow people to determine what is victimization hood? What is actual policy, what is important to us as individual, or are we deciding that ourselves? Because democracy, true democracy, is what driven us to this point, and fake democracy, trends, trending politics, emotional politics, victimization politics are what have led us to this point. And it is not true, it is not integral, and has no moral standing. You have been led to believe that you are a victim of society, and I want you to understand that people that are forcing these views, forcing these politics down your throat, are emotional creatures. They're hateful creatures, and they do not practice what they preach. That can be seen on your own. Go and do the research. See these people, see these crazy, crazy liberals. I am not trying to just label everybody, but it is more than the truth that liberals are insane. I'm sorry, but you guys have no idea what you are doing and have no real, like, there's no center point. There's no foundation for your belief systems, and it is going to burn to the dust if you do not get your shit together. Okay? Now then, the victimization hood has been led to bring society into believing that they are not capable, they are not creatures that are decision makers. They have to be told what is true and integral and what is fact, and that is what is leading us as a society to need some type of leadership, some type of person in an office that has driven up oil prices. Oh, great. Nope, I am getting political. But, you know, there is something that we need to start focusing in on, and it is real politics. Real politics, not emotionally driven, not fear mongering, and not victimization hood. Because when we start becoming victims, when we allow ourselves to be victims, we are filled with hate, we are filled with anger, nothing gets done. We have to look up to somebody to change the way things go. That is scary because you are going to have to wait, and you will wait forever until you die. But, and I know, again, trigger warning, there is something very important with this message, and I want you to understand. I'm telling you to get up now and start making changes in your community, start making changes that impact people, pick up some trash, start actually looking out for your community members, your friends, your neighbors, and start building like gardens, community gardens, whatever it is that drives you as a human to connect with other humans and understand that those people that you have been told to hate and fear monger over are just humans just like you. It's crazy, I know. They have to eat food. What? They garden? What? People and people are people, but you are being led to believe that they are not. People will always be humans. Human nature has this capability of being raw, materialistic, and they also have the capability of being loving and helpful creatures. It depends on how you treat them. It depends on how you react towards them. If you respond and you communicate with healthy boundaries, when you start actually filling yourself with healthy communication, you can understand how much real misinformation you have been feeding yourself by listening to these politics, by listening to these people who are telling you to be angry. If you were being told to be angry, why would you not question that? I just don't understand it. I really don't. But okay, so the victimization hood is leading this country into having blind followers. Now, what I mean by this, and I watched this video today and it was just a reaction video, but there is this BLK. I'll see if I can try to pull it up. I don't know how much editing I can do from my cell phone and flipping this over to my laptop, but I'm going to do my best. But this video has been presented to us, or actually, I should say the Black community, to either it's bizarre. It is a very bizarre video. You're just really, I would encourage you to watch it yourself, and I'll do my best to leave the link down below for that one as well. But there is something strange going on here, because when we really start understanding culture and what is really like valuable as far as morality and just what we should really be focusing in on is just crazy and astounding to me, because this video literally presents black people as voters, and if you do not vote a certain way, if you do not vote Democrat, and I believe that they said that specifically in the video, if you do not vote Democrat, you are not black. And you have heard that many a times. And if somebody's telling you that you are not a specific race because you didn't vote a specific way, like, really, really, I don't know if I can hone this message down in your brain, because you have been force fed lies, and you are literally being driven by hate, and it doesn't actually have any foundation. So, yeah, again, there's some really crazy things in that video too. I think it's a music video. I'm not even sure who the artist is, but it's really, really cringy to watch. But yeah, so they talk about it's vote or no fucking. Let me see if I can pull it up actually. Only red flag, he don't vote, something like that. Well, okay. I can kind of understand that the point that they're trying to make here with this video. However, it is really bizarre to watch, okay? And it takes a specific, and it's not even full culture. It takes a specific targeted audience and basically shames them and tells them that if you are not voting a specific way, if you're not voting for these terms, then you already read a giant red flag, which, okay, sure, yeah, you should be involved in politics. You should be involved in your community, and you should feel like you are capable of making change. But voting, first of all, is not the only way to be involved in your world and not be involved. Like, it is not the only way to be involved in your community. There, like I said earlier, you can garden, you can build a community garden, you can build a hut for art, a public, like, portal for art that you can leave for people to come and pick up, and just, you can be a part of your community and make a positive impact by just having content creation and being a voice online. And that is why I'm telling you to use your voice, utilize your power, utilize your strength. If you have not watched the superpower video, I highly recommend it, because it definitely talks about your superpower, which is I guess I should just go ahead and ruin the entire video for you. But your voice. Your voice is your superpower, and that is what I'm trying to drive into you. Why hasn't it sticked yet? Okay. Well, so they want blind followers. They want people to not even question their narrative. They don't want anybody to question their narrative, and that is scary. Okay, you should question everything. You should question me. You should question your Uncle Marvin. You should question your school system. You should question your policies. You should question your political leader and what is really true about him and his weird drug addict son. But it's important to question everything, because one, you have a brain. I hope. I don't know how you're watching this if you don't. But you have your own power, you have your own strength, and you are actually very important to society. You are a impactful creature. If you are a construction worker, if you are a miner, if you miner as in mining, like on the oil fields, never mind. But like, if you are in some form of hard working, if you're a nurse, if you have made impacts in other people's lives, you are important. I don't care what your, like, political, uh I don't care what you're outstanding, where you're standing in policies. I don't care. I mean, maybe just a little bit, because they do impact me. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't care, like, what your real, I'm sorry. Okay. I do care about your opinion, but not in a sour way, not in a bitter way. Like, your opinion is important. It allows me to question myself. It allows me to question other people. It allows me to question you and understand why you are changing my view, why you're questioning my view, and it is good for society, because we can come together and make better decisions when we actually communicate and we're not throwing eggs at people. Yeah. Okay. So it's important to start really getting into and involved with the things around you. Because if you want change to happen, you have to be the change. Yeah, I said it. It's cheesy. It is. But it's important and it's true, because if you want things to happen, you can't just sit around on a keyboard and be angry all the time and blame everybody else for your problems. If you want problems to go away, you have to start making an impact. You can be one of those content creators that goes to the homeless and provides them with a home because they have an entire channel dedicated to this. I have seen so many of those videos, so many content creators that just make things out of thin air and create a system where they can provide housing, food, and allow people to get back on their feet and get jobs and become a part of society again and get people off of the streets. If that doesn't speak true impact, then again, I don't know what will. So I really hope that I've driven this message. I feel like I've screamed at this camera quite a bit today, so I'm very sorry for screaming at you. But it's important to really understand your power. It's really important to start questioning narratives. It's very important to start wondering why there is a new strain of COVID in a lab in Boston University. I didn't say that, but yeah. So I love you guys. I really hope this message gets through, and hopefully I haven't triggered you that much, because there's honestly a lot more triggers on a lot other videos and a lot other content creators than me. I'm actually pretty softcore when it comes to the triggers. So I just want you to start thinking about things. I want you to start questioning things, and I want you to understand that you are not a victim. Everybody that has ever told you that you were a victim has lied to you, because you are capable of actually doing things in your world. I have seen things from, like, literally the floor come up and create a little tiny speck of flour in a edge of cement. If a flower can blossom from a crack, if a flower can blossom down in the basement, I think that was actually a mushroom, and it might be psychedelic. But you know what I mean? Like, if things can happen from, like, literally nothing, you are capable. You are not a victim, and you are not going to be. You're not going to be continuing to be a victim because other people have told you to be a victim, because you are going to start making changes in this world. We need people to make changes. We need people to start getting up and rising up without being angry, without destroying buildings, because that is so counterproductive. I don't even know how to explain that one, because that one really should have been common sense. But yeah, I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and please, please, please check out my other videos, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Bye.